Inshallah, I'm gonna talk about some of the modern day issues that come about and what would break the fast and what wouldn't break the fast. So these are some of the things that would break the fast according to the madhab and in the stronger view that I mentioned. The using an inhaler would break the fast. So this is of the things that would break the fast. Because this is entering something into the body that goes into like the actual throat, that passageway, and it's an actual substance. So the inhaler would break the fast. Also cigarettes, they break the fast. Cigarettes also break the fast. The next thing that would break the fast, hookah, pills. Pills would break the fast, of course. And regardless of what someone needs it or not, it's still going to break the fast. The enema would break the fast according to a lot of the views in the madhab, because this goes all the way up into the body cavity that's on the backside. This would break the fast. The fast according to the mu'tamid of the madhab. Anything entering the number 1 or number 2 pathway from that would break the fast. Colonoscopy breaks the fast. Anything in the nose and mouth that goes down the trachea. So say someone was going to have some type of a hose put into their mouth, like a feeding tube or something. Just the tube itself would break it. The catheter would break the fast. Swallowing phlegm breaks the fast. Swallowing phlegm, and because this is something that came out, and like phlegm would say, if it came into your mouth and it was actually to a point where you could spit it out, you didn't spit it out, but rather you just took it right back in and you swallowed it, then it was something that was outside of this and it went back down. And it's not like spit. Spit is forgiven. But phlegm is something that's a specific object. And on one of the views in the madhab, it breaks it. There's a strong view in the madhab that it doesn't break. This is a view that I personally hold, but I try to accommodate and adhere to the other view out of precaution, like swallowing phlegm. And also if phlegm comes up in your nose, and then you were to swallow it intentionally with the ability to get rid of it. This is the key point. If you weren't able to get rid of it and it slipped down without you thinking, it doesn't break your fast on any of the views. But it's with you having the ability to do it, and you intentionally swallow the phlegm with the ability to get rid of it, then at this point it would break the fast according to the mu'tamid in the madhab. Although there is a strong view in the madhab that it wouldn't. Also, tasting, this will not break the fast if someone wants to taste food. But they just need to make sure that nothing goes back down into their mouth, that they rinse out their mouth afterwards so that they're not swallowing anything from it, even little tiny pieces. Smelling scents does not break the fast because it's not an actual object that's coming in. Yes, you're smelling something, but it's not an actual object. Blood donating doesn't break the fast. Blood testing doesn't break the fast. Cupping does not break the fast, although it's makruh, to leave the difference of opinion. It's like sunnah to leave it off. Skin ointment or creams, this does not break the fast because it's being absorbed into the skin. And this being absorbed into the skin, even though it might give you a benefit, say a nicotine patch. Somebody's trying to leave off smoking while they're in Ramadan. They put on a nicotine patch. Is this okay? Yes, it's okay. They're that nicotine that goes into their body from the patch. This is not something that is going to break the fast because it's not going in from a orifice. All right. Eardrops, upon a strong view, it doesn't break the fast. Acupuncture, needling doesn't break the fast. Anesthesia, as long as it's not all day. If the person was down throughout the day, like they were already under, and then the fast came in, they had the intention to fast the night before, and then they came up, as long as they were awake sometime within the day, then it would not break the fast. Gum breaks the fast if there is anything mixed in with it. And so, like if somebody has a piece of gum and they're chewing on the gum, there's little bits of sugar most of the time that's getting mixed in with their saliva, and then they're swallowing this, it broke the fast. If it was like what they'll call al, which is like a type of gum that there's nothing in it whatsoever. It's just that kind of rubbery material that they're chewing on, but it doesn't actually add anything to it. And at this time, it would break the fast. Under tongue strips, it's like a tongue strip. If you were to put it under the tongue, it gets absorbed into what's under the tongue. This does not break the fast. Like you should try to make sure, like if you were to use one of these tongue strips, you would just make sure that you don't swallow the saliva. But if you were to put it under your tongue, leave it there, and it dissolves into the mouth, this does not break the fast because you're not swallowing it. It's actually getting dissolved into the skin. It's like putting a skin cream. It does not break the fast. Swimming is haram. Swimming is haram. Any water that comes in breaks the fast, regardless of what the need was for it. You say you're saving somebody. At this point, if you're saving somebody or some animal or whatever, and you need to go and swim, Okay, in this point, because of the need of saving somebody, then you can swim, but it breaks the fast. And you need to make up the day, and also you would need to make up you would make a fidya for it as well, which is a mud for that day, because it's similar to the breastfeeding woman that didn't fear for herself, but she feared for someone else, and so she broke the fast for the other person's sake. This is the same thing. All right, toothpaste, as long as it's not swallowed, it doesn't break the fast. It's allowed. Just make sure you don't swallow any of it. Food bits and teeth, they break the fast if it's swallowed purposefully. If it's unintentionally, you didn't realize that there are food bits that you were swallowing, doesn't break the fast. So these are some of the things that do and don't break the fast. Lastly, last thing just to finish out everything else, if somebody they use the pill as birth control and whatnot, that's for like a girl, and she wants to ensure that she doesn't have menses during Ramadan. So she keeps taking the pill so it doesn't make her go into her period. By coming off of it, of course, they can kind of control their period with it. So if she wanted to keep doing this, as long as there's no harm that's going to come from this, that she doesn't fear any harm, that at this point, there's no problem with her doing this. Does she need to do it? No, she doesn't need to do it. Like, this is normal for her. She could stay on it normally and just make it up later. But if she wanted to do this, this is allowed for her. Any questions? Go ahead.
There is a myth in the Pakistan that if a person show affection to her wife during like uh, grabbing her hand and kissing on her, so they say that it invalidates the fasting.
No, it's haram, but it doesn't invalidate the fasting. Like, if as long as there's no intercourse and there's no ejaculation that happened, it's haram to kiss for the person who has desires aroused by this, such as kissing or touching in a way that arouses the person. This is haram, but it doesn't invalidate the fast. If it's not going to arouse any desire and it's just showing affection, then it's not haram. It'd be makruh to kiss if it doesn't raise any desires. I don't know who that person is, but it's assume that there's no aroused desires whatsoever. It doesn't move any of their desires. Then at this point, it would be makruh for them to kiss. And if it does arouse the desires, then it'd be haram. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.